Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Ben,
I'm Rom.
and we're here again today for the One Piece versus 4K podcast, where we compare the One Piece 4Kids anime to the Funimation dub, sub, and throw in comparisons to the manga. We are back. Uh, from my side, I'll be covering episode 15. We'll figure out how many episodes we're covering once we get through with this on Rom's end. But before we get started, what's been going on with you this week? And I guess what's the latest One Piece news?
Yeah, so latest One Piece news. We had like a new episode this week. Yeah, someone in like the One Piece community. What I would do is I would kind of constantly ask. I think it was either in their Discord or I think in the Discord I would ask them like, "Hey, is there an episode next week?" Because the thing with the anime is that they'll have bye weeks or they'll skip a week or something. And so since we had obviously that huge break, and then once we came back we've been having episodes every week, I'm constantly like nervous, like, oh man, they're gonna take a week off one of these weeks. And like obviously they need to because of workload and like animation and everything. And so I would constantly ask them like, oh, are we gonna have an episode? And then someone kind of said it's like they'll usually have like episodes every single day, like throughout the year, or once a week throughout the year. But it's like maybe 4 or 5 times in a year where they'll have a buy. So it's like they basically told me like, there's like no need to ask every single week, is there gonna be an episode next week? It's like it's something they'll announce ahead of time. So yeah, if there isn't gonna be like an episode. But yeah, the episode this week, the episode was pretty good. I'm actually trying to remember. I know on the Luffy side of the episode, we were, we're really really close to a major kind of like story point in this arc. So, and I think based on the preview for the following week's episode, it looks like that story point will actually occur. So that's something that's very exciting. Um, and then on the other people's front, it's like, oh yeah, yeah. Um, it was pretty good. I mean, overall, like it was like a really good episode. Definitely more like talking. Well, so in the Luffy part, there's where Luffy is currently in the anime. There's like a lot of action. In like the current anime, not what we're watching, but in the current anime, there's like a lot of action going on for a few weeks. So it's like so his part was like pretty action packed. The other characters, it was more like content. Like there's a lot of discussion, and at the very end of the episode, they um displayed one of the key plot points of this arc. Not the Luffy plot point, but like another plot point of this arc. So that was pretty good. So overall, I'd say this episode was pretty good. Only reason I'd rate the previous week's episode is because of some of the fight scenes that were really amazing. But yeah, this week's episode was really good. On the manga side, we did have a new chapter this week. I think it was much anticipated because we had a bye week in the manga. And uh, this week was definitely one of the more like emotional chapters. There was definitely a lot more dialogue. I think most of the chapters are a lot more dialogue, but this one was yeah, definitely like a very emotional chapter. With kind of a lot of the main characters. Obviously, the manga is like I think at least like a year ahead. So yeah, like it was a very emotional chapter. Actually, prior to the release of this chapter, um, one of the editors kind of came out in an interview talking about how this chapter was very emotional. People in I think there was kind of like a confusion among the One Piece community whether it was the chapter that was released this week or if it was the chapter that's going to be released next week. So there was a bit of confusion, but the chapter that did come out this past week was kind of very emotional. Yeah, it was definitely one of the more emotional chapters. And at the end of the chapter, basically the big battle kind of started for this arc, and it was like it's huge. Like this was like basically this thing has been building up in the story. It was technically building up since 20 years in the past, but like, well, I guess like from where we are at, it's 18 years in the past, but from where this current story is, it's like 20 years in the past. um but in the current kind of like group crew, it started um like 300 or 400 episodes back. Well, like episode count. I don't know what the manga chapter was, but it was like around Punk Hazard where we got introduced to these characters, and like this is like their story. And like, like in the episodes, it's like around episodes, like it's around the like late 500s, early 600s, and this arc is around the 900s. And then yeah, like this is the start of like their big battle, and it's going to be this culmination of this huge thing that's happening. So um yeah, it's in the manga, like right now, it's like really huge that this battle started. And yeah, so this is going to be a bit of a spoiler for this, but basically, like, how dedicated these guys are to the battle. What they did was, the ship that they took to get to this island, as soon as they reached the island, they sank all the ships. They sank all the ships. I think the only ships that weren't sunk were like the pirates ships, because like, they're gonna go off and do their own adventure. So it was one of those like all or nothing kind of things. So it was, yeah, they were just like, this is it. And so that battle has kind of started. So it's going to be an exciting few weeks. I think there is definitely a chapter next week. I'm just not sure how many weeks they're going to go, because it's the schedule is still a little weird, since I guess they're not back in the studios yet. Well, like, back in the manga studios yet. So yeah, but that's kind of the One Piece side. Um, on a personal side, like, yeah, I mean, I started to kind of make more Italian dishes. One was successful, well, successful-ish, and the other was like a complete failure. But it's fine. It's fine. It's like it's a learning experience. So, but yeah, I guess that's kind of it on my end. How's everything been going on with you?
Yeah, I guess speaking of cooking, I bought a pretty expensive rice cooker,
Why?
Japanese rice cooker, because I miss Japan and I can't go anywhere. Uh, so I cooked some rice tonight in it, and it was really good. Yeah, I think really it's a lot easier to make the rice in it. And
Yep.
I feel like it comes out a lot better. Um, but yeah, it tasted really good. It takes an hour to cook it. I mean, you kind of slow cook it in a way. Um, but yeah, it turned out really good, and I guess I'll be making a lot of rice now.
That must be like some really good rice for it to take like an hour, man.
Yeah, I mean, and they tell you have to like wash the rice too, which I've never done. Um,
After you cook it?
no, before you cook it.
Oh,
You're,
yeah. Yeah. So, well, how do you wash the rice? Like, how do you wash the rice? How did you wash the rice?
well, I watched Laura do it, but she just put it. Basically, you put it in like a bowl, and then you just move it or stir it around with your finger, and then
Okay.
drain it out, and then do it again and again and again.
Okay.
Is that how
Yeah.
you would wash it?
Yeah, basically, yeah, like, so there's, like, 2 ways, I kind of, like, learned, like, so my way, like, the way we did it, I guess, like, it's the way I learned it, because my parents did in India, and then here, I guess, like, that's the way a lot of people do it, which is basically, yeah, like, we basically put the rice in, like, a bowl, fill it up with some cold water or something, and then kind of I would kind of run it through my fingers. I would kind of grab some of it, like kind of scrub it a little bit, and to like the I don't know. I guess it's to get the starch out. I guess I'm not really sure. Um, yeah, I mean, I, I'm probably not using the right terms, but yeah, I basically kind of do the same thing where I pour water in the rice, kind of use my hand to kind of clean it a little bit, discard the water, and do that again. But one of my friends, who used to be one of my roommates, like he when I saw him clean the rice, he like put it in like he used one of those, like those colanders.
Like a pasta strainer.
Yeah, pasta
Yeah.
strainer. He would like dump all the rice like in the pasta strainer, and he would run water through it just until like it turned, like when he runs the water through the first time, it's like you see like some like whitish, like dusty
Hmm.
water, and then he just kind of like runs it until it's like clean. So I've seen that. I've tried that once, but like when I tried that and I did my method, I saw that like the dustiness or whatever it is still there. So I just used my way of just cleaning the rice that way. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this way too. Like you don't get. I mean, yeah. I guess whoop de doo. But you don't get like the rice like stuck. Like it happens, like when you cook it in a pot, it gets like stuck to the pot.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So this shouldn't happen with the way it's cooked. But yeah. I think I had way too much rice tonight, just because that's was my main dish. I had a little bit of like frozen chicken uh,
Mm.
that I just cooked, but it was like really like three tiny pieces that I had with it. But it was mainly for the rice. Uh, but yeah, I actually have a little bit left over. I don't know. I guess I'll store it. I think you can actually reheat the rice in the rice maker, so I'll have to look up how to do
Mm.
that.
Dude, I think I usually just I know like with some leftover rice, I would just stick it in the microwave, heat it up.
Yeah, if you put like a
Go
little
for it.
bit of water in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, like when I usually reheat rice, if I'm gonna make like some curd rice, I'll obviously put some water in it, but like whatever liquid I'm kind of mixing with the rice, usually kind of, but yeah, water, yeah. I'm not sure how this Japanese rice is kind of made though. That's the only thing. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can actually make rice in like 15 or 20 minutes. You can
Yeah.
do a quick cook on this rice cooker, but they
Mhm.
recommend you take longer. They said the longer you take the better it's going to taste.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
And
okay.
I like my rice like really. I don't like. Well, I don't know. Maybe some people do, but I don't. I like my rice really soft. I don't like any like chewiness or like crunch to it. So I'm like, all right, let's just do the hour. It'll be perfect. And yeah, it turned out perfect. So,
Okay, okay, okay,
but yeah,
okay.
it's kind of cool too because you can cook vegetables and even meat in it. Like there's a separate tray that you can put in and like cook the meat at the same time from the
Okay.
steam.
Oh,
So
kind of like
yeah,
an instant pot.
yeah, yeah. So we're gonna try that eventually, I guess. And then also, I'm sure we'll experiment trying to make some sushi and then like some rice cakes and rice balls and
Mm.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. I got it like at the beginning of last week, but I was so busy with work and like so lazy that I didn't even like you have to clean it initially, and I was so
Mm.
lazy to even clean it. I'm like, okay, I don't have time for this. That I
Yeah.
just put it off until today.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, I'm with you on the laziness, man. Like sometimes like yeah, I think part of the reason my like monthly credit card bill is so high is because I'd get so lazy and I just like order out where it's just like I could just spend 10 minutes just cooking something. It's like or 30 minutes or 40
No,
minutes.
dude, it's more than that, because then you gotta wash the dishes, and then you gotta. I'm going like insane with how much I've been washing my dishes. Like every single time before I cook too, I'm like, okay, well, my sink is a little bit piled up, so now I gotta empty the dishwasher, and then I gotta load it up, and then I gotta cook, and then immediately after cooking, then you're like, all right, well, now I gotta load it back. It's just like it never stops.
Dude,
It's crazy cooking every night.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. I guess that's kind of the cooking every day kind of thing. Like, yeah, I mean, I usually just like take for me, like, yeah, it usually just takes me like an hour. I mean, granted, like a lot of the food that I make, like for instance, like in the morning, I would just make like an oatmeal and
Mhm.
like a fruit. And so and then in the afternoon, um, it would just be like a simple rice dish. So it wouldn't be too much to kind of wash. Dinner is where the big thing is, where I have to like make something like big.
Yeah.
But like yeah, for me it's like I'll kind of wash the dishes, like wash as in like get rid of all the whatever debris is on it and like scrub it once before I load it in like the dishwasher and load it,
Yeah.
and then I'll usually just let it run overnight. But that's kind of me just doing it. And
Yeah, that's
also,
the same thing with me. But it's just like, when you start, I don't know. I just always like when I start cooking, I
mhm.
have to that's when I usually unload the dishwasher from the previous night. And
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
and by that time I already have some plates in the sink from lunch and from breakfast maybe. But yeah, but then it is a little bit more because yes, there's two people here.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
definitely.
also when I'm cooking my meals, most of my meals are Blue Apron.
Yeah.
So when I do that, it takes up like every single time I go through like about 7 plates because I have each ingredient laid out like they do in the pictures. Um,
Okay, okay.
I mean, because it's easier to just grab it, put this in at this time. So yeah, I have a bunch of tiny, tiny bowls that are constantly being washed.
Yeah, dude, I'd say wait, I'd say do this like just like after each meal, um just just kind of like dedicate one sink where you just kind of like just remove all the debris and wash it once and just kind of like put it to that side after each meal, and just kind of do that so that when nighttime comes around, it's like a quick 10-15 minute thing where you just kind of scrub it one last time and like stack it up.
No, man, that's the problem. It only always takes 10 to 15 minutes, but that 10 to 15 minutes is freaking hell when you're doing it every single day of the week. It's like I don't know. It's the whole like repeating everything. This like it's like we're living in a constant state of deja vu.
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
man.
So
Hopefully the vaccine's ready by next summer. Uh
hopefully it's ready this month. I'm just kidding. But
well,
yeah. Yeah,
there
I
is like some vaccine in like I think like England or something that
yeah.
but it's like something that's made within the year. I mean, granted, I think this vaccine they originally made it for something else, but like I think they're testing it out with how it's gonna work with this virus. But yeah, I mean, that one I kind of just want to wait out and see what people who take the vaccine are saying, and then I want to take it. But if it's something that's ready, like if Moderna has something ready in between January and June, and I can take it, I would take it.
Yeah. I saw someone else saying that they're terrified that like let's say that the one in UK is going to be like the best vaccine or whatever, that they're just
Mm.
terrified at how nationalistic we're getting and that we won't want it because it's not produced here. I'm like, "Oh god, not that, please." But
No,
yeah, wouldn't be
the
surprised.
one in yeah, I mean the one in Britain, we actually have a contract with them. I think it's the one in Britain. I know like the government
Yeah.
has like a contract with one of the vaccine makers to have like some sort of vaccine ready by September or October or something.
Yeah, well, we'll see, man. But yeah, I guess let's get into the episode here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so my episode, I'm covering episode 15 of the Four Kids. The episode title is another pun. Last week we had the perfect plan.
Mhm.
This week the pun is long arm of the claw.
Okay.
So there's that. So yeah, the episode, this is actually like the first episode that I've seen that has a lengthy recap. Like the other recaps have been like maybe like 15 seconds long. This was like a whole minute and a half, maybe, if not almost 2 minutes long of a recap.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's something I noticed. But one of the things that was actually kind of funny is in the recap itself, they cut clips together to make it seem more like Kira wasn't out to kill Kaya, and that they really just the only clip that they put in here was the clip of him saying that he's going to make her disappear. So it's kind of funny because like even when you're watching the episode, you understand that that's not really his intent, is to make her disappear, like vanish. But they just push the thought that no, that's literally what he's talking about, making her vanish. But then by the end of this episode, you even know that that's not the plan too. It reiterates itself. So yeah, I just thought it was weird how they're covering up murder again, but yet they really can't get away with it, or they're not doing a good job at censoring it. But yeah. So the episode starts off with the Veggie Kids seen running away with Kaya through the woods. So I guess you now are getting more of what was happening in between parts of the episode from last episode that you didn't get to see. All of a sudden, Django shows up and throws his circle blades through the forest to chop down several trees to make it easier for him to find them. The kids hide behind a tree, and one of the kids almost sneezes due to, I guess, allergies from the tree. We then see,
Tickles his nose.
yeah. Well, I mean, okay, yeah, it tickles his nose, but yeah, I thought it was allergies, but
I think it's one of those like cartoonish things where like
yeah,
someone like just tickles your nose and then you just start to sneeze or something.
okay, well, it could be.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, so he almost sneezes. Then we see Usopp on Zolo's back, telling him he's headed in the wrong direction, and Zolo is just like puzzled, like he really doesn't know which way to go.
So this is a bit of a spoiler, but yeah, you remember how I said back in Warship no, it's not Warship Island. Where Luffy meets Zoro in the naval base island? When I said that it was pretty significant that Zoro actually pointed in the right direction for Luffy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is going to be like it's a running gag about
That he
Zoro.
never knows which way to go.
He always runs in the wrong direction.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So I guess that's where this is really starting.
Yeah.
So yeah, the kids and Kaya. Well, the kids move Kaya around some more as Kaya tries convincing the Veggie Pirates that they should go on and save themselves. They repeat what Usopp said, that it's better to run away as a coward than to lose as a hero. Then one of them brings up that he may have said that, but he never listened to his own saying, so it must have been another one of Usopp's lies. Kaya tells them not to risk their lives, and that the Veggie Pirates say they have to because it's what Usopp would have truly done. All of a sudden, Django finds a trail leading him to where the kids are. He kind of like finds some leaves that are like rustled, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts back to Luffy, and he's with the other pirates of Kuro's crew, and they're both amazed that he has destroyed one of Kuro's claw claw arms, or I guess gloves or whatever, by the boulder. So yeah, so far is this pretty similar to yours?
Yeah, yeah, basically, yeah. So far everything's kind of similar, yeah.
Okay. So then the pirates tell Captain Kuro to get back up and attack with his other claw, as one of the pirates reminds him they can no longer call him that. They can't remember what he's now known as, which is Claudador, and then instead refer to him as Santa Claus.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Is this what they refer to him in yours?
No, so it's like one of the guys, he's like, "Oh yeah, what does he go by now? Klaha something?" And they're like, "Yeah, go Klaha," or yeah, something like that. Like they don't say Santa Claus, but they're like, go Klaha," or something like that.
Okay, so they
Short word.
just totally mangle his name.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They get the
So
first half.
yeah. So in this, they call him Santa Claus. So that's a
Okay.
great Americanization of this show. And
Yeah.
also another funny pun on the claws.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so Kuro gets back up and says that both Luffy and his crew will not be spared by his claws. He then says he will finish off Django as well because no one who knows his true identity can leave, and that's always been his plan from the start. Luffy then calls them a bunch of ignoramuses, as Kuro agrees. Kuro then says they should have listened to him so they could perish with honor. Luffy says he's not going to defeat him, and that Kuro couldn't even defeat Usopp. Kuro starts to get pissed and says, "Why is that?" Luffy says, "Because Usopp's a real pirate, you're not, and that's why he's so easy to hit." As Luffy then performs another attack on Kuro, at the same time dodging his stealth walk. Kuro tells Luffy that he's mistaken as he prepares for another attack. The crew then can't believe that he's starting up for this attack, so you assume that they've seen him use it before.
Mm.
They say, "Oh, I can't believe he's using it on one person." Then they realize that he's also planning to take them out as well. He then says, this is another, I guess, Americanization. Kuro then says, like a razor clawed phantom of the opera, he will organize their doom with razor like stealth.
Mm. Wait, is that what he says? Like, does he name the attack that?
No. Then he unleashes the attack, which he refers to as cat out of the bag, which
Oh
sends a
wow.
purple smoke wave in the direction of Luffy and Kuros's crew. So is is that not what it's called in yours?
So actually, a few things. So the stealth walk, or what was it called? Like stealth run.
They called it a stealth walk.
Yeah. So that in the regular they actually call it like a pussyfoot walk or something like that.
Okay.
So
I
there's that
mean,
one little change. Then again, there's Puss in Boots for Shrek, the Shrek
yeah, that's what I
franchise.
was thinking. So there's nothing wrong with the pussyfoot walk. But okay.
Yeah, and then so the attack. I don't know why they changed the attack cat out of the bag. I don't know why it's that cat themed. The name of the attack isn't actually like that bad. It's like I think it's like called the behind the back attack or something like that. The name I just don't get like why they had to censor this name. The name is
I guess
actually
they just wanted to make it funny.
I
But
guess yeah.
actually, it doesn't even really make any sense.
Yeah.
I mean, the name that you just gave me makes a lot more sense with how the attack is performed than cat out of the bag.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Um, yep. And then as far as like the dialogue between them, it's very similar. Luffy just kind of goes into like a whole thing about how Usopp's like a better guy than he is. Usopp isn't gonna sell out his crew or something, and like all that. So all that is very kind of similar to what you said. So yeah, just kind of the name. the name of the attack is a little different. And yeah, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, so then we see Nami. Oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah, we see Nami searching the ship and coming up with not much treasure as she looks on the attack overhead. Um, she sees the pirates begin to drop one by one as the purple smoke cloud envelops them one by one. So it's like a cloud of purple smoke that's basically like sneaking up behind them and just taking them out is what
Mm.
is what we see in the four kids. Is that similar?
No, in the regular, he just straight up cuts them, and you see blood spurting out.
Do you not see any like purple cloud?
No, I mean you do see like the purple cloud initial, like when he starts the attack, and like when he does this chain movement and then he starts it, like you see some purple cloud waves going, but like from what I remember seeing, like no, there wasn't like purple cloud everywhere like around the guys. It's just straight up like he slices them, not like slices them all the way, but he cuts them and you see blood coming out.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, this still gives this. You still are able to realize that he's sneaking up from behind them and taking them out, but you just see basically like a purple cloud, and then like I guess you like see like you like hear you like briefly see him, and then you just see them on the ground.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
So yeah,
They do make it a point to make it like he's like so
doing it really
so fast.
fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess it's pretty similar, except there's no blood here, and it's since there's no blood, you really just basically see purple clouds. Um, yeah. So Nami's watching in disbelief. Luffy's starting to get angry at this point, and just can't believe he could do this to his own crew. He screams that as we see the smoke heads towards Luffy and hit him directly in the chest. As Luffy somehow then manages to grab him and slam him to the ground. Uh, Kuro says his disruptions have caused him to delay their inevitability, and that his crew will suffer even more. Um, which I thought was kind of funny because I don't. I mean, like, what is he gonna do? Like, kill them slower, or like, he's already said he's gonna kill them, so I don't understand how they're gonna suffer more. But yeah, that I just thought that was stupid that he said that. Um,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like so since this is not censored, he straight up says you're basically making them suffer instead of having a quick death or something like that. So
okay, got it. Yeah, so and with the censorship here, I'm just like, huh? What? I mean, they're already dying, but yeah, okay, that would have made more sense. Um, yeah, so now Luffy says he knows real captains and that Kuro isn't one of them. Kuro assures him that the only thing people will remember him by is how many tiny pieces he will slice Luffy up into, and that he will clean his claws on Luffy. Is that along the lines of what he says in yours?
I mean, yeah, wait, clean the claws. I mean, he basically
Oh,
says
he says
like
he's gonna chop them up into tiny pieces.
yeah, he basically
Okay.
talks about how he was gonna like slowly cut him, make him suffer and slowly cut him and stuff. It almost
Okay.
feels like he was like describing how he would like cut a fish or something. But
Got
yeah.
it. Yeah. So then Luffy storms towards Kuro as he performs the cat out. Kuro begins to perform the cat out of the bag attack again. Now we are switched back to Django as he finds the kids waving a white flag from their hiding spot. They then set up a small booby trap to trip him as he falls on his head. Another one of the crew members hits him with like a skillet. And then another one hits him with some pepper blinding powder, which turns his face blue
So where does he hit him with the skillet?
in the face.
Okay. Is there any other things that were hit?
Not that I saw.
So wait, continue that sequence.
So he like trips and hits his head, and then
Okay.
you see the kid smash him with a skillet, basically, and then all of a sudden you see like his face turned blue, and then one of
Mm.
the kids says that, he had hit him with some pepper blinding powder.
Mm. Okay. Well, so um that scene where they hit him, one of the kids actually hits him in the balls.
Okay. I mean, I
Well,
figured that when you're asking me my question.
yeah, it's like from what I remember, yeah. So the kids, they run away, and then they're just like, okay. Notice he was pretty close. He was chopping up the trees with his blade and stuff. And basically, the kids, yeah, set up this booby trap where one kid pulls the rope, he falls forward, and then yeah, as he's down, one kid just like peppers him, and like he's like sneezing, and then another kid just smacks him in the balls.
Got it.
And yeah, and then they do some others I think they show, I think they show in the next scene like them kind of dislodging this log and smacking his foot.
Yes. Yeah, so then they drop a tree on his foot and attempt to attack him again as Django catches Onion in his hand and tosses him against the tree, and then begins to individually throw the rest of the crew against trees.
Okay. Yeah, so far, yeah, that's there. But yeah, yeah, the kids actually like smack him in the balls. I think that's the only censorship between 4Kids and the regular anime. But okay.
Gotcha. So yeah, after he throws them all up against trees, he tells Kaya to come out, because he says, "Come out as you don't want to see a grown onion cry." Um, which doesn't even make any sense because he's a kid, unless he's trying to say that when an onion grows up, it turns into a kid. I don't know. It doesn't even make any sense.
That's
But
fine.
that's what he says.
Yeah, he basically says he's gonna kill the kids, basically.
Yeah. So then Kaya appears and begs Django to stop as Zolo and Usopp begin to arrive, I guess. Then, well, they don't quite show up yet, but they begin to start finding out where they are. Django then says this isn't a negotiation and he will finish them all off. As Kaya sneakingly grabs Django's weapon and attempts to break it, Django warns that it's too powerful and will turn on her and that there's no telling what will happen. Kaya screams that it's too strong to break, and Django says he'll help her out, but only if she signs over her fortune to Kuro as he hands her a feather pin and a contract.
Oh, Will.
Yeah, okay, I will. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I guess
Well,
for
I
you
guess
guys, it's a
it doesn't
contract.
say contract.
Okay.
Um, well, maybe they did say contract. Yeah,
Well,
I don't ever. He just hands her a paper. I don't.
yeah, so,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
I
I
guess,
guess
like,
it would be a will. You're right.
yeah, I guess it's because of the censorship things. It could be a contract, or maybe it is some kind of like contract to turn all your possessions to another person or something. It's
Well,
possible.
with what happens uh, coming up, it would only make sense to still be a will. Um, so
Yeah.
I guess I'll get into it. He
uh,
then tells her to sign it, and it will all be over. She says only if he lets the veggies go. She signs it and then asks for Django to let him go, or let her go as Django pushes her neck up against a tree and starts to swing his blade at her.
mhm.
Um,
So
we yeah.
So actually, really quick, what I forgot to mention earlier. Um, Originally, so when Kaya goes to grab the blade and she takes it, she doesn't actually try to break it. What she actually, well, so what she does in like the regular anime, maybe it's altered in the 4Kids. In the regular anime, what she actually does is when Django says he's actually gonna, he says that he's actually gonna kill the kids and her and basically everyone in the village kind of thing. But when he mentions that, what Kaya does is she sneaks and she grabs the ring blade, and she actually threatens him that she'll kill herself before, so that he won't get the opportunity to kill her, and before he gets the opportunity to make her sign the will. So she kind of basically threatens that she'll kill herself so she won't be able to sign the will. and stuff. So
Yeah, that's definitely not what happens here.
yeah, so Django's like, all right, hold on. I'll let the kids go if you just sign this will, and then like it'll be over or something like that. So yeah, she doesn't
Gotcha.
try to break it.
Well, hey man, they did a great job with censorship here. It was believable. They said that suicide was too much, even though they brought it up last episode in
Yeah.
the four kids at least. So yeah, then we see yeah. So then we see Zolo and Usopp run in as Usopp points out where Django is, and all of a sudden Zolo just throws Usopp on the ground and runs towards Django. Um, One of the veggie kids is seen getting up and grabbing a weapon as Django steadies his blade. Um, and then it cuts back to Luffy getting slashed in the arm by one of Kuro's attacks as the episode ends.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, same thing kind of happens. Yeah, Zoro and Usopp finally reach there. Zoro drops Usopp and he's like charging towards Django. And yeah, one of the kids actually not sure that they show him grab a weapon. Maybe they do, but yeah, maybe they show it more in the next episode. But yeah, basically it basically cuts around this scene is when it kind of like cuts back and forth because of events that happened at Luffy. Like they try to, I think in the next episode they'll try to match when everything happens so that it kind of happens in at once kind of thing. So yeah, same thing kind of happened in my episode too. Yeah.
Cool. And what was your episode's name?
Yeah, so again, like this is kind of one of those things. So my episode was just episode 16.
Okay.
The episode title was Protect Kaya, the Usopp Pirates' Great Effort.
Okay. Yep. So it seems like most of this was similar, except for the part where they totally changed what Kaya did. I guess once again, because earlier Kaya threatened Kuro with a slingshot in the Four Kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's it for this episode. Thanks for listening, everyone. We will be back next week, and hope to hear from you then.
Yep.